All right, Aries, let's talk about your ex. Okay, Aries ex. Do they miss... Oh, I'm using Aquarian Tarot deck. I have had this deck for a while. I love this deck. Love it, love it, love it. All right, Aries ex. What's going on with Aries ex? Does Aries ex think about the Aries? Do they miss them? Is Aries' ex thinking about them and missing them? Are they on their mind? Okay. Okay, you want to know what's really funny, Aries? This is the second time I've started your video, and both times this was at the bottom of the deck. No joke. Okay, do they think about you? Do they miss you, Aries? Sexually, they definitely think about you. The star reversed, they've definitely lost hope and faith that... Or they could be just fully healed from the breakup. Okay, that's a good thing when people move on in a healthy way. That's a very good thing. But they also could have just lost faith or hope that there's any sort of chance for reconciliation. Like, they don't think about you in terms of, oh, I miss them. Oh, if only I could get them back. If only, if only. They don't think about you in those terms. They definitely think about you very sexually. So there's an attachment there. Probably would like to do it again. And maybe they're looking at that. Like, for example, people that have Pluto in like their 8th house or Pluto in their 3rd house. Okay, and I know you probably don't know this about your ex. If you do, look at their chart. But people that have their Pluto in their 3rd and their 8th house, or Mars, okay, like Mars in Libra in the 8th house or in the 7th house or something like that, or Mars in Aquarius in the 7th or 8th house, like that's, or even in the 1st house. Like, that's going to be very interesting in terms of their sexual connection to you, because they're probably going to have a really hard time letting that portion of the relationship go. People that have Pluto in the 3rd and 8th house can be very secretive. They can be stalkerish. They can have weird sexual fantasies. And I don't really want to go into sexual stuff really at all, but look at the Pluto-Mars placements. And so that could be why, okay? They could be looking at this as, the reason why I said that is because they could be thinking that sex is the pathway to get back together with you. So a lot of people think, oh, sex is so bad, like they only want me for sex. That may really be how they communicate, okay? You have to know people's charts. It's very important. So, like, potential hoping and wishing for a new beginning haven't gone through any sort of retrospective thoughts about this. That's why I think the healing is reversed too. I think they're just kind of like right to the unhealthy connection. But the reason why I went into all that Mars and Pluto stuff, and why I specifically talked about how some people actually view sex as I mean, it is a form of communication, but some people place way higher importance on it than others, and it's because of their Mars and Pluto's placement. So you have to understand that sometimes people aren't just sometimes they are using me for sex. Yes, don't get me wrong. Sometimes they're not listening to your values and all that stuff. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that, but I am saying that they may be realizing that this is ending. There could be work put into it, but it's very much taking that type of unhealthy attachment view. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say about that. Okay, I'm not gonna leave that. Okay. All right, didn't mean to go into all that. Yes, they're thinking about you. It's probably sexual, but they are kind of thinking that it could lead to some sort of beginning, or if they could just have this new beginning with you, you'd feel connected again. Not in a hopeless romantic sort of way, but maybe, yeah, in a hopeless romantic sort of way, because they haven't done any retrospection. They could also, I'm going to say again, they could just be thinking about you sexually, but they also have moved on. They've gone through the healing. It's done. They, maybe this is something that happened a while ago, right? Like the breakup was a while ago. Okay. What are their thoughts about the ending of the relationship? Are they playing the blame game, or are they holding themselves somewhat accountable? Temperance reversed. Three of Cups, Tower. Well, it's a third-party situation. Okay, their defenses are up. It was a third-party situation. There was somebody else involved. It caused a Tower moment, maybe because you found out. Maybe they just decided to choose on the other person, and they made a swift move. Okay, and not necessarily a very well thought out move either. This could have been fairly reactionary to the Tower moment, where they just like, you found out there was somebody else, and then like boom, Tower moment, and they're like, well, fine, I'm just gonna move forward with this person. Like that could be. But in terms of how they are viewing it, are they holding themselves accountable? No, they're not holding themselves accountable. They're being very immature and keeping their defenses up, frankly. They're not communicating like a grown adult, all right? They're just like, okay, bye, that's it. But in reality, they're actually a very insecure human being. Look at this. They're actually a very insecure human being. And the Strength card is a card of taming your own inner demon. And when it's reversed, they can't tame their own inner demon. That's why this Sex card and the Pluto-Mars talk was so important. They can't tame their inner demon. They don't know how. They could have confidence issues. They could have self-esteem issues. But they definitely cannot control... everybody can control it, right? But I mean, they let this take precedence over being a mature. I think is what this is saying. Okay, next question, Aries. Next question. Is there going to be any future communication? Is the ex going to be reaching out? Or if Aries reaches out, will the communication be positive? Is there going to be any future communication with Aries ex? Okay, so very well, but actually, Aries, it's going to be if you reach out. If you reach out, because this is you talking, unless they're a fire sign, this could mean that they're reaching out. It could go very well. Like, I think all this healing is done. I think this is saying that, there's an opportunity to level up, build some stability within the relationship, but you kind of have to ask yourself if it's even worth it. Like, you really have to analyze the situation, because I think a lot of times people romanticize love so much that they become blinded to, one, their own power, and two, like how things affect them. Like, I think we let things and people's decisions affect us way more than we need to. So I think it's not about will the conversation go well and you'll get back together, right, Aries? It's more about, like, what are you trying to build for your life? Like, don't worry if someone loves you or not. Who cares about them? Like, if you guys aren't together, if they're not chasing you and telling you that they can't live without you and doing like, and I'm saying that because they're acting very immature. Where did I see that? Didn't I just, must have been at the bottom. Like, they're acting immature. So it's like, do you really want to be hoping and wishing that someone come back that acts like that? I think you're going to answer no, right? You may really love them, but at the same time, do you really want somebody who's doing this? But the conversation will go well. I think you're working on leveling up, and this is also kind of gratifying, self-gratifying. Like, you've made your decision. Four of Swords, the Chariot, okay? And if there is, keep emotions out of it, Aries. Be very open and practical, but not so emotional about it when you guys talk, if you guys talk, okay? All right. Last question. Is there hope for any reconciliation? Actually, let's clarify this Page of Wands. Knight of Wands. Okay, that just like super popped out. So, okay, like it can go well, but it's not going to go anywhere. It will go well, but it's not going to go anywhere. This is a very temporary relationship. This is a very in and out of your life, probably multiple phases with this person. Okay, they're not going to stay, or you're not going to stay. Like, I think you're at that phase, Aries, where you're trying to build something that's actually real and stable, and you don't need to deal with this type of bullshit. Or you could hope that it goes well. It might go well, but then you may realize, like, no, I don't want to be with that type of a person who does that, or who does that, or who acts like that, right? Or has ego issues and bullies, or like gives you silent treatment, or just pulls away without explanation. You know, like, who needs to deal with that bullshit, right? Okay. Last question. Is there hope for any sort of reconciliation? Put these on top so you can see them. So again, you could be dealing with a water sign. Here's the Moon card. You could be dealing with the Pisces. We have the Four of Cups here. We have the Queen of Cups. Could be Cancer. Could be Scorpio. We have the Queen of Pentacles. So in terms of you, all right, don't be over generous and over giving and put the work into the relationship. That probably was the issue anyway, Aries, is that they were not matching your investment in the relationship, which meant what? The relationship was way more important to you than it was to them. So you've got to match energy and investment in a relationship, and an emotional investment. This is an indication that they were not matching yours, or you were not matching theirs. So it was way more important to you than it was to them, which is probably also another indication of why they're only thinking about you sexually. All right? You don't want to deal with that type of person that isn't going to put work in or be gracious and generous with time and openness, right? This is somebody that keeps secrets. This is somebody that goes silent. This is somebody that is unsure of their own thoughts, and so they just, that's why this is the card of Pisces, right? There's the two fish. They swim in other directions. Like, they're all in one minute, and then it's like, oh, I never said that. I'm out. I didn't, whoa. Okay, because that other fish is pulling him in that other direction, and they don't know. Like, this is somebody that is very unsure of themselves and their own thoughts, especially combined with these. So we have the Queen of Cups and we have the Four of Cups. So, like, it's not, if they're offering you love, you're going to be apathetic towards it, or vice versa. Okay, that's basically it. Advice and guidance. Let's pull some advice and guidance. Advice and guidance. Advice and guidance for Aries. Six of Wands. So there's victory, King of Pentacles, Six of Swords. And I don't read these reverse. Page of Wands. So again, okay, in terms of advice, if you want to talk to him, talk to him. But don't put any value on it until they put value on it. Does that make sense? Because there's something here that could be very valuable, but you both have to recognize it. And frankly, they're leaving. Like, they're pulling away, or they're sorting their thoughts. You may give them something to think about, but keep your thoughts at bay. Keep your emotions at bay. That's where the victory comes in. Okay, stay lighthearted and fun, but keep everything at bay. Don't overinvest in somebody that is not investing in you. All right, I love you. Bye.